everyone, my name is Sophia Baum. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Youth Ecology Coordinator for Wild Diversity. Today we're going to talk about river features and water safety. Let's go. Okay. So first, we're going to go over some river features. We're going to start with the eddy. The eddy is one of the easiest features to spot. It is characterized by a pocket of stationary water that is on the downstream side of an obstacle, such as a rock or a riverbank. So the eddy line separates the current from the eddy. The eddy line is a place where the water is being pulled in two separate directions. The width of the eddy line is actually determined by the volume of water. So the higher the volume of water, the wider the eddy line, and vice versa. A whirlpool usually happens on the edge of the eddy line, and it's a spiral that happens because that flow of water is being pulled in two different directions. Rocks are some of the most significant features on the river. They help guide the flow of water and create rapids. As fun as they are, especially if you're whitewater rafting or kayaking, there's also some rocks to watch out for. Thin rocks are one. They're very sharp and the water rushes past them. These don't have any type of pillow on the upstream side. Undercut rocks are also very dangerous. They sit on the surface of the river, they don't have a pillow on the upstream side, and they should always be avoided. They could be very dangerous because you could get trapped under. There's not always an exit, and boats and swimmers can get very hurt. A hole is formed when water shoots over rocks, is pushed to the river's floor, surges up, and recirculates back upstream. That upstream flow creates a foam pile. The boil line is the separation between that foam pile and the rest of the downstream flow. Your hole is determined by the shape of the foam pile. So if you were looking downstream from a bird's eye view and your foam pile's corners are downstream, this is called a smiling or open hole. If your foam pile's corners are upstream, this is called a frowning or closed hole. Waves are very fun features. The top of the wave is called the peak. The bottom or deepest impression is called the trough, and the sides are called the shoulders. There are stationary waves in which water moves through, releasing energy as it goes, and there are standard waves where water speeds up, is constricted, and it flows over objects. Strainers are obstructions in the river, such as fallen trees or a collection of debris. Strainers should always be avoided as they can pin or entrap boats or swimmers. A vector current is the direction of the main flow of water. Yes, all of the water is going downstream, but the current might not be traveling parallel to the riverbanks. A vector current can also be called a downstream V. Whenever you're in or around water, always make sure to wear a personal flotation device, PFD, or life jacket. I'm going to use my lovely mother as my model. So we're just going to make sure that everything is zipped up. If we had buckles, everything will be buckled. Everything is nice and snug. And that her shoulder straps cannot be pulled up above her ears. It is very important for our PFDs to be snug in order for them to be effective. If we're in the water and they're loose, they can float above our heads. If we're being pulled out of the river by someone in a boat, it can also be pulled above our heads and we could slip out. Again, it is very important to always wear a PFD in and around water and to make sure that it's snug in order for it to be effective. When in or around water, never consume alcohol or other drugs. If you fall into the water, it is very important for you to be sober and alert in order to self-rescue or to listen to the instructions of the rescuers. If you find yourself in the water, get into the defensive swimming position. In the defensive swimming position, our feet are up, ready to kick off any rocks. Our head is out of the water and our arms are to the side, ready for us to steer. Do not stand up in the river. If you stand up in the river, you could get a potential foot entrapment, where your foot gets stuck or trapped on the river floor. This is a very dangerous position as your head is being pushed into the river, blocking your airways. Again, get into the defensive swimming position and do not stand up. The aggressive swimming position is essentially a freestyle. You're going to be on your belly, doing big kicks and strokes. You're going to be wanting to swim upstream at a 45-degree angle and avoid obstacles such as strainers and undercut rocks. For example, If you ever find yourself in the water on a whitewater rafting trip and there's an oncoming strainer or undercut rock, your guide is going to be pointing in the direction of safety. The area you want to go is calm water, such as the eddy line or the shore. Remember, swim until you can crawl and crawl until you can stand. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot and feel empowered by this information. River features and water safety are very, very important. Continue doing more research, continue building your skill set, and continue exploring more of what nature has to offer.